For us, it was really the improvement, and it was dominating. I don't want to sound disrespectful, but we had a squad, and we, on the men and women's side, we scored in every event. That hasn't been done. That's one thing we haven't done in a long time. This event after event after event, we might only be capturing a handful of points, or we might be capturing 15 to 20 or more points. But just to kind of sum it up, the men and women in this program went into that championship meet ready to compete and to dominate. That's our standard. That's what we tell them our expectation is. We don't talk about winning it. It's not to dominate, to be disrespectful. It's all really about an attitude of what we want to try to do. If we come up short of that, how do you define dominating, right? We didn't expect that to happen. The majority of our folks came out of that meet with lifetime bests. So their attitudes were right, their hearts were right, and the stars aligned, and it was just a wonderful meet to get to. At that moment, it was just like, hey, I'm just here. And they were locked in. And total support from everybody.
The first of our scholar athlete interviews is with Sophomore DonTre Sinegal. He was the High Point awardee for the men at the conference meet last weekend. And DonTre, could you see this happening moving forward?
I just wanted to focus on my jumps. So last year, my jumps didn't go as well as I wanted to. During conference, the only thing that went well was the hurdles. So I knew if I were to just lock in and take care of my jumps, because I knew what I could do in jumps. Everything else was just going to flow. I was able to just sneak in 5 points from high jump, or something that I just worked a week of. So I was kind of proud of myself for just getting those few points. But other than that, I kind of expected to score that many points at conference, but I wasn't expected to win. Brandon Powell from ETBU, he was also a contender for the most points scored. We actually tied until I was getting ready to do the 4x4. So I asked Coach if I could run the 4x4 just so I can score those few little points.
There you go. What, in your mind, was the most rewarding victory you had at conference?
Probably just winning conference as a team. Because, like I said, long jump and triple jump wasn't too much competitive wise. I didn't have the HSU jumpers like they had last year. So jumping really wasn't that competitive. Neither was hurdles, because last year Belhaven had a good guy that hurdled. He graduated, and of course they're not in conference anymore. So I would have to say just winning conference as a team.
And our second scholar athlete interview is with Brynn Yanez. And Brynn, you had a big conference meet, 20 plus points, 1 to 100. Did you see that coming?
Honestly, no, because I didn't expect to win the 100 going in. And whenever I just got down to those blocks, I'm like, oh, I can do it. And then I did it. And then I didn't really realize how the points were going to rack up. I was just thinking about the whole team. So I just ended up scoring a lot.
When you look back at the 100, what do you remember the most about it? Was it a close finish? What was clicking in that race for you?
I remember I was in my blocks and I did a practice start and I wasn't very good because my number had fell off. And coach was just telling me, he's like, just run your race, don't be nervous. And I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. I just had 100. So I got down my blocks and I had a great start and I just slowly felt myself start to build up. And then the people just kind of I couldn't see them as much anymore. And then my confidence built and I just finished. And it was really exciting.
What's the summer look like for you? What are you going to be doing?
I plan on working on a ranch this summer because I've always loved ranching. I've lived on a ranch my whole life and been around horses. So I'm going to do something that I like this summer.
One of our scholar athlete interviews is with junior Vern Angton. And Vern, you win the discus. You're second in the shot at conference last week. What have you been doing preparation-wise to get to that point? How have you been progressing through the year?
I just take it one throw at a time and just listen to the coaches, just try to see what I can do to get the best throw possible.
But
When did you know it was clicking really good for you last weekend?
It was actually like on my last throw, I was just like, it's the last throw, best throw. So then I just closed my eyes and did what I knew how to do, and I just did it.
How'd you get into track and field?
I've been throwing shot put since I was around like 8 years old.
Really?
I just like doing summer track, and I've been throwing discus since I was about 12. I don't know, just something that like, cause I've been playing football my whole life, and I feel like it's just something to like switch up and like do something else rather than just like getting stuck on one thing.
Our final profile this week is with Ellie Ryan. And Ellie, looking back at conference, how did you feel about things?
It wasn't my best performance, but I saw my teammates put their best performance on, so I was proud of them.
As you look ahead now to last chance qualifying and down the road, what do you want to see from this weekend and next week?
I want, well, hopefully PR, but I just want to, recently I've been feeling out of my groove. I just want to feel like I'm in my groove.
There's a lot of sports within the sport, and we have an array of athletes spread across the entire sport as well. That's still in the hunt to qualify or protect their spot. So, whether it's Alyssa in the javelin throw, we're focusing on some technical components. I mean, I just came off the track with Nosh, and we're talking technically there. Mm-hmm. In some of in the sprints, it's about sharpening that sword and getting a little faster. But it's not just one thing. We're just trying to continue. They've been able to extend their season, and with that, everybody's leveling up, and we're trying to do the same thing.